Welcome to the Book of Balance podcast, where real stories meet real numbers. I'm your host, Patricia Oholeguy, your bookkeeper and believer that business should serve your life, not consume it. Each week, we sit down with entrepreneurs who've built their dreams from scratch and learned to balance their books, their boundaries, and their energy along the way. Ready to turn the page on financial stress and write your own story of clarity? Let's dive in. Welcome, everyone. And here I have, how would you say your name? Would you say
Mido.
Mido
Mido
Said?
Said.
Said,
Yes.
see, I got that
Yes.
right. Mido Said. And he is here to share a little bit more about his experience as an entrepreneur. As you all know, we are in the Book of Balance podcast, and I am Patricia Oholeguy. And I am here to share with you experiences from different entrepreneurs, where they come from, and what their goals are as a business owner, and how they want to make a difference in their personal life and how they want to help others. So, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here today. Start with my story. My story is big and a lot of moments where it says you can say aha moment or it's like oh crap moments. But to make it short to fit in this podcast, my story started when I was young. I think it was like in starting middle school. I got to the point where I saw a problem in my tiny community at this point, which is my household, my sibling, my parents, and I fixed the problem. And I got addicted to that problem. The problem was kids love candy. We
Right.
we eat candy all the time, and I was like, why not buy candy in bulk and resell it to my siblings in the summertime? So in the school time, your dad or your parent give you allowance like $1,
Right,
$2,
right,
whatever.
right, right.
I used to save it. I don't spend it in candy or anything like that. At the end of the summer, go to the whole store and buy candy in bulk and end up reselling it to my sibling, my neighbors, stuff like that. It was funny because I remember my first $50 I invested into that business, I turned it to 100 by the end of the summer. And the next summer, the 100 turned to 200, 300. And I was like, this is really cool. I like this one. So I started here and I get addicted to selling the part and the freedom part. When you have your own freedom, you can do whatever you want. You have your own freedom, you got your money, you can have time, you can do whatever you want. So I enjoy the freedom part more than the money part. Money is
Okay.
good and everything, yes. So fast forward long years later, I started my businesses in too many different niches, and I found out is money or profit is not the goal. It's to have peace. Running a business, you can drown in your own thoughts, your stress, burn out, no freedom, no time, personal time at all with either your family or your wife or kids or whatever your situation is. You start something and you go deep into it, you get lost. So
Yes.
I was into that grind mood where you have to hustle 24/7 to keep going, do not stop. And I was like, one thing happened to me was that in 2010, it wake me up and it was a car accident and it changed my life. I was dead. I died twice in that car accident. My lungs collapsed on me 2 times while on the ICU.
Wait, so I gotta stop. Did you actually have like what we call an NDE, or or you don't remember anything?
I do not remember what happened. I lost my
Okay.
memory for 2 months. So
Okay.
1 month
Okay. Oh, so
before
you
that,
had a memory gap. Gotcha.
yes, yes,
Okay.
I had an injury in my brain, my femur in 12 different places. I got so many surgeries, rods and screws and all this fun stuff.
Wow.
And yeah, so this was my first wake up moment for me. We were hustling, it was me and my brother, and we were hustling every single day non-stop. We were told this is how you run a business. This is how
Right.
to be
Mm-hmm.
successful. Don't stop, grind every day. Don't take day off. And it was just like I lost myself in the middle. I lost my freedom. I lost my health. And this is not right. This is not how it should be. We started the business for the freedom, for the peace, and the money. Because if you have the money and you don't have the peace or the freedom, the time, money is not gonna do you any of it. What that mean? You have zeros in your bank account and money keep growing. You cannot enjoy that money or enjoy your family. And I was in recovery for almost 2 years after the accident, and I could not walk. I was literally laying in the bed for almost a year. I could not move at all. When you stay in the bed for a whole year, thinking and
Yeah, your
just
mind goes places maybe it shouldn't be.
exactly. And I was like, what I am doing, I'm doing everything supposed to be doing. I'm working hard, outworking my competition, deliver good product, service, and why I am here. I am not enjoying my life. And it changed my whole life. And fast forward more years later, I started a movement. It's called Peace the Profit, or Peace is the New Profit. So
I've seen it. I mean, I've seen your stuff and I've saw, and I thought
yes.
I was really curious. I'm like, okay, I want to hear more about how I mean, I thought it was a great perspective,
Yes,
especially
yes,
from a bookkeeping perspective, that I'm working with people who are dealing with numbers, and we talk about the importance of profits within the business. But I agree, profits should really give you peace
exactly.
rather than the stress. And you started by saying, the addiction to selling.
Yes.
I got me thinking about, I think those are the lessons that us as entrepreneurs, we have to go through. Once you become successful and you find that niche, you find that ability to sell, how do you stay centered and do not let that rush of that high of that sale control your mind to the point that you're always looking for the next high on the next sale, the next thing, to the point that the addiction to the profit becomes so large that, like you said, you forget to enjoy life.
Yes. So I have a system in place is where I ask before I do anything, before when a business opportunity comes to me and I see the numbers are good, oh, I'm gonna put $1, I'm gonna bring $3. It's really good. Let's do it. And I fell into that trap. I opened a business and a second location, third location, different business, and I was like, what's going on? So I built a system is where I ask myself questions. Is the first thing, will that task or that business or that move I'm gonna take will bring me more money? If it's yes, can I let somebody else do it for me? If no, I have to do it, then I'm gonna ask myself the most important question: will that take away from my peace, my time? If it's yes, I don't want it, because I already established my business. Maybe somebody else building their business or starting their business, it will take from their time. You have to, especially
Right.
when you're starting, but cannot take from your peace, because if it takes from your peace, you are destroying yourself mentally. And I'm not making this up. I was writing an article on my website. Is 87.7% of business owners, they suffer from stress, burnout, anxiety, and depression.
I believe that.
That's almost 90%. That means 9 out of 10 business owners, they are suffering from stress and burnout. Why? How we came to that point where I want? It's like one of the things I teach to my other business owner is it's like business is like marriage counsel. So you started your marriage or with your wife in peace, love, happiness, dream, family, and all this stuff. Fast forward 10 years later, you're fighting with her or with
Yeah, you're
him.
having the stressors
Exactly.
of 10 years of a life together and all the things
How,
that come with it.
yes, and you ask yourself how we became that two couple that they hate each other or they don't stand each other.
Right.
So the same thing with business. You started the business for the freedom, for the peace, and how you become the stress. I dealt with it personally. Look, I
Right,
lost my
right,
hair. You see, I wasn't like this.
right.
I had, people would compliment my hair because I had very thick hair, and it's like, wow, this is very
And you're
nice.
like, what happened? Like,
Exactly. It's a stress.
right.
As you cannot sleep at 2 o'clock in the night, you're looking at the ceiling, staring at the ceiling. Is like, I have a payroll to pay tomorrow, or I need to pay that vendor, stuff like this. And it's just, it was too much. So you have to ask, you have to have a system in place. Each person has different business, different mentality, different lifestyle, which I understand. But come to the basics. Will this take from my peace, from my mental health? Will it destroy it? If it's yes, the profits mean nothing. This is not profit then.
Yeah, I
So if
can
it's
see
going to
that.
take from your mental health and add more profit, this is not profit. This is a stress. This is you killing
It's a
yourself.
loss. You're actually you're in a mental loss.
Exactly.
Instead, you're in a financial plus, but in a mental loss.
Yes, the numbers looks good. The numbers are growing, but you're drowning. You're
Right.
burning out.
And this, I mean, I love this conversation, and one thing that I think I've always have admired, and I think I was somewhat successful at doing it. The only way that you're not going to also burn out is you have to be willing to delegate. And this is something I think most small business owners truly struggle, is to delegate, because no one's going to do it like you do.
Exactly.
And people need to understand that's okay. They're not supposed to do it like you, because they're not you, and they're never going to be you. Like, I had a daycare and I had several teachers. I mean, they had to work for me, and I will always have something like, oh, she's not doing this, or she's not. And I will be like, that's okay. I had to look at the 80% that they were doing right. And if the other 20% was not, but as long as, safety was not a problem with
Of
kids, right?
course, yes, yes,
But maybe they
yes,
were not organized. Maybe I had to, I realized that, keeping things in the right place was not their thing. And, that doesn't make, they're just, and I was really into organization and being super anal. So, of course, those things drove me crazy. But I realized that was not this person's strength, but I had to delegate it out. Otherwise, you don't have quality of life. And, what is it for you to bring 200,000 on the table, but you don't have a place to sleep, versus having 100,000 on the table, but you being at the beach chilling?
exactly. So I work, or I started in the most chaotic, stressful business industry in the whole universe, which is restaurants.
Oh my gosh, yes, there's a 50%
Yes.
failure.
So yeah,
There's a big rate of there's a huge chance that you may not be successful. So there's a lot of stress for you to be able to make it work,
yes,
100%.
yeah. And one of the
And it
things
never closes, and it's like, wow, never have weekends. Yeah, that's one of the most difficult branches of business to work in, for sure.
yes, yes, and I had people work for me. It's like they call it front of the house, back of the house, servers or kitchen. And I had a good team, but my biggest problem is, as you said, you expect them to do like me. This is not gonna happen. And I dealt with this for years, and I was like, why I cannot find somebody to do their job right? And I found the problem is not the people I'm hiring; it's my expectation.
Right.
I expected them to do the same thing as I did. If I'm gonna do the food order or serve or whatever, do it the same exactly way. Then I moved to a different situation where, okay, I'm gonna build the system. Literally, I am gonna teach them 1 + 1 = 2. Do not think. We talk about it like in the meetings and stuff like that. I take ideas and I implement it in the system. Here's what you do. When the customer walks in, you say this. Then you see them. Then you ask them this. Then you get, and 1 + 1 = 2. And another thing I dealt with is nobody's following the steps. So I came to a conclusion is my expectation was so high. They're not gonna be able to deliver that. First of all, they are human. Second of all, they're not gonna care about the business as much as I do.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing. That's why it's your business, 100%.
yes, yes. And I learned this from a state trooper. Actually, I got pulled over one time. It was like a long time ago. I got pulled over, and I like to have conversation with people. So I asked him, what's one thing that you learned from your job as a state trooper that made your life easier or made you better in your life? And he taught me this, and it made, like, this is one of my aha moments. He said, we are dealing with human. We are humans dealing with human beings. Don't expect us to be perfect as I expect you not to be. I expect you to do a mistake. When I give you the ticket, that's not mean you're a bad person. That's mean you're a human, did a mistake. He said same thing in life. Don't expect everybody to do perfect. Nobody's gonna do perfect. What you need to do is accept the mistakes or imperfections and learn from it, so other people cannot do the same mistake. And I literally I blacked out at this moment. I don't even remember what else he said. I was like in my own
Like,
thought.
oh, angel singing and
Yes, yes. And I don't even know what else he said after this. I took my ticket, get in my car, and drove off. And I was like, that makes sense. These people that work with me, they do a good job. I expect too much from them. It's like you have a pet or a dog, and you expect your dog to talk to you, eat with you. It's not gonna happen. You cannot expect that from a dog. So I'm expecting from my servers to do 100%. It's not gonna happen. So I lower my expectation to 50%. So when I tell them 100%, I expect them to do 50%. If they did the 50%, I'm happy with it.
Right, exactly.
If they did 60, great, you're perfect. If they did 70, awesome, you're my best employee. You're the perfect
Employee
one.
of the month, right? So
Yes,
then,
yes.
so then you were able to figure that out. You had restaurants. Do you still have restaurants, or have you moved on to making a bigger movement?
As I said, I mentioned earlier, it's like I have my hand in different industries. I right now I do not have. I sold the last one I had because for the sake of peace, because it was too much drama, too much time, and so I sold the restaurant. Right now I focus on other things like furnitures. I have a furniture store. We do real estate investing and flipping,
Hmm.
and we do wholesale and import and export. And I have my own software, SaaS, where I deliver other services to other business
Gotcha.
owners as well. That combination, I made it to give me the time. Like before, I used to work like literally, I worked 14 years without a day off.
Right.
The only days off I had was like the holidays, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was too much, and I was missing a lot. I even wrote a post about it. My laptop had more family events than me. Like because if I go to a family event, I have my laptop with me because I have to do something.
Right, 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 right,
So,
right, right, right. So it was like it was your true companion.
yes. So
So
I
something
miss.
I do want to mention,
Sure.
because you said something, and I don't want to discourage those who might be currently in the grind of things. I think every single entrepreneur will go through the difficult grind that you find yourself working nonstop. And I think it's okay if people choose to give themselves permission to do the grind for a period of time, but you need to give yourself an end date because otherwise you will burn out, like you said. So I think that's what let that be that lesson for the current entrepreneur that is in the middle of that hustle and bustle, trying to figure it out, and they're getting burnt out. That is not that they're doing anything wrong. They're just having to grow as a business owner and learn how to delegate, how to change their priorities, how to allow others to do things for them so they can kind of start stepping back, and then gain from those profits of the business that they have, then they can reinvest it on something else if they feel like in the future. But they're building something at the moment. And I think that sometimes we as adults, like you said, you have good comparisons. I like to compare with children because I have the daycare. Sometimes we have this baby, which is our business, and we love this baby so much we don't give it to anyone to take care of the baby. And so
Yeah.
by the time we want this baby to learn how to play soccer, the baby is already 15 years old. They're not going to learn how to play soccer. It's too freaking late.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think the biggest mistakes some business owners make, they wait too long before they start delegating.
And they deal with burnout.
And they deal with burnouts, and also it stops the business from really growing and doing the 10x thing.
Yes, exactly.
Because the problem is if you stay as a very small shop for 15 years and then you start delegating to grow, it's almost like the market knows you for who you are already, and you have created a brand. And for them to now see you everywhere and growing exponentially, it's almost like it doesn't fit their image of who you are anymore. Because now I have this baby Jimmy who's 15 and he's never gone anywhere because he's always with mommy. And now Jimmy is going to soccer and here and there, and he's going to Harvard. It's almost like that doesn't make sense. How does Jimmy, that never went anywhere for 15 years, now going to Harvard and being like the best soccer player? Like, it doesn't make sense because there was no growth to it. So I think that's one of the things that also I think when people don't delegate soon enough, they're hindering their business from doing the 10x movement.
You're absolutely correct. Starting a business, to start from the scratch, you will have to work hard no matter what.
Correct. But you
To
need to
build
have
a
an
business.
end date and be willing to delegate. I think
Exactly.
that's how
Exactly. And there is a lot of people get confused between working hard and grinding. The media, the social media sold us the trap of grinding and hustling 24/7 and all this stuff. And people take it and implement it right away, which it kill them at the end of the day. But to break it down for people to understand, in the first year or two, you have to work hard in your business. No question. I completely agree with that part. But working hard does not have to affect your mental health, your personal life. You will have to have time, at least 1 hour a week. I don't care. 1 hour for your mental health, yourself. Even if you sit outside your porch or in the backyard,
Correct.
just drinking your coffee, thinking about nothing, just to relax your
Correct.
mind. You have to have that. that doesn't go against working hard. And as your business grows, you have to delegate your, as you said, delegate your tasks, your business. And I learned this one, and everybody could be different, is I do audit my business every single month. So as I said, we get trapped into that cycle of business. I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do
Right.
more of this, more of this. And we get more tasks, and I need to look at this inventory, I need to look at this new vendor, I need to look at this marketing. So we get too many tasks on top of us. So every single month I say with myself, I write the stuff that I am doing, and I check marks the stuff that I can delegate, the stuff that I can take out, the stuff I have to do as a business owner, which is taking decision, the vision, and the stuff that is just wasting my time, killing my energy. So every business owner should sit at least once a month with themselves to see what they can take off. We saw that mentality, a business owner wearing too many hats. At one point, yes, but wearing too many hats for long period of
Right.
time is gonna affect your business
In
in a
many aspects, yes. And
yes.
personal, emotional, and like I say, you're going to hinder from growing.
Yes, the study showed with Harvard University said 62% of business owners they make poor decision in their business because they wear too many hats. Because their mental health is it's like we're human. It's like when you have your laptop or your computer, when you open too many tabs, your PC is gonna freeze. You're not gonna be able to do anything.
Correct.
Just delete this. Well, I'm opening this YouTube. I don't need it. Close it. I'm opening Word. Close it. I'm opening this. Close it. You have 2 or 3 tabs that you're focused on. Once you're done, move to the another task. Same thing with our mind. If you load it with so much, it's gonna affect you. It's gonna affect your decision making. It's gonna affect your business. It's gonna and the study again it shows that I believe it was business owner twice likely to suffer from depression and suicidal thoughts because it's too much.
I can see that. I can see that. I know
Yeah.
someone who's right now going through a difficult time, and I thought it was like, is this person even having thoughts that could be harmful to themselves? Because
Yes.
running a business is difficult. People count on you, and then also we put identity of who we are as human beings being measured by the level of success we have in that company.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
therefore, that's where the suicidal rate comes because now this is who I am. I'm a failure. I'm not doing well. I'm good for nothing. And the shame that comes from that, sometimes it could be shame, it could be financial distress. Sometimes people don't find a solution or a way out, and they just don't have the grit to keep moving forward that can lead them to things like to thoughts that
Yes.
are just not good.
Yes. So here is another study, and it was I think it was 72% of business owners they damage their own personal relationship. 72% of business owners they damage their own relationship because they do not have time for them. They
Correct.
are so stressed and thinking about the business is when you go home, you still working. You're at home, but you're working. Answer text message on your phone or emails or thinking about tomorrow or marketing campaign. I'm not saying don't think, but don't let it control you mentally at your home. Because this is your family time, your kids, your wife. And if you stop doing this, it's going to affect you because most business owners, 72%, they suffer from loneliness, which is mean is they have nobody to talk to about what they're going through.
Right.
We trapped ourselves into that mentality, our own mindset that I'm trapped in the business owner mindset. My wife, she will not understand
Right.
how
Hence this
whatever.
podcast, because I feel
Yeah.
that that's a main problem. We're
Yes.
all trying to run a business and we don't have people to talk to realize we're not alone on this.
Yes, and I launch and I'm teaching all this for free. If anybody want, you can go to our website and I have the breakdown I break it down what you can do to overcome the burnout and the loneliness
Excellent.
and
And
all
we'll
this
make sure
stuff.
to post everything on the description. We have a link with all of the information from the podcast, and it'll have your bio and it'll have all your links that we discussed
Yes,
during today. So that'll
yes,
be
yeah,
perfect. So we'll make sure that people have your information.
yeah. It's free. And as I said, I'm doing the movement Peace to Profit to help other business owners. I'm not making any money of this. And loneliness is it kills. It's that seed of depression. It's I feel lonely. Nobody understand me. My wife doesn't understand me. She think I love the business more than her. The kids, they think I work too much and I just spend time with them. My workers, they think I'm making all this money and I don't give them break or give them more raise. The IRS, they need more money from me. The customers, they need more discount. Family or friends, they only friends with me, and I dealt with this personally. Families, they only need me because they need a discount or they get free food or whatever. And so this is true. Like I was talking with one of my friends yesterday. Is like when I sold the restaurant business, I lost 95% of my contact. Nobody reached out to me.
Interesting.
Nobody reached out to me.
Interesting.
It's funny, yes, because when I was the restaurant owner, it's like, hey, Mido, how you doing? How's it going? Anything I can help you with? If you need help, let me know. They come see me at the restaurant and stuff like that. When I sold it, nobody. The worst part is when I reach out, they do not respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as a business owner, we deal with the loneliness and we trap ourselves inside that. So that's why you have to have a time for everything. As you said, time limit to working hard, time limit to start delegating, time limit to with the family. When I say I have thing is when I come home, I don't have my cell phone on me. I put it in my office or I put it in my bedroom, and this is my family time. I focus with my wife and the kids.
Right.
That's it. I do not respond. Like every an hour, I check. Maybe one of my family reach out to me or something like that. But I do not check my phone for business purposes.
Gotcha.
So when I go to sleep at the end of the night, I can sleep peacefully because I cleared my mind slowly.
Yes.
In the last 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, and that can be a challenge for a lot of people.
It is, and I used to deal with that, and you have to work on that.
Yeah.
To I don't know, some people they have an iPhone or not, but in the iPhone you can put a limit to each app what you can use. So Facebook, I used to deal with the thing is I'm on Facebook all day long, so I put a limit. It's 10 minutes every hour. So every hour I go on my phone for 10 minutes and the app locks me out. I cannot access it. So my Facebook time is out. Same thing with everything in your life. You have to put a limit to it because if you don't, it's just going to keep dragging more.
Right.
Because were sold as a business owners or entrepreneurs is you always need more of revenue, sales, lead, customers. We
always feel like we need to do more to get more of whatever it is that we need.
Exactly.
That's very true. That's absolutely very true. And so you have created this movement basically, right? To really help people understand that, what is greed versus, peace, right? When it comes to profits, understanding the difference between one and the other. So what will be some of the takeaways that you would say that your program can give people and that people can really benefit from what is that you're providing in that?
So the whole program based on is what I was just explaining to you. You don't need more.
Right.
Sometimes less is more. Okay. So when you seek or trying to scale your business to get more sales or revenue and stuff like that, you grow in the profit aspect of your business, but your piece is not growing. So handle your piece first. Build the foundation for your business by building a system for yourself, for your employees, and for your customers too. This is my boundary. You cannot ask me for discounts because I'm not giving you this. This is how I feed my family. That's why I tell my customer when I go to the furniture store, I would love to give you a discount, but this is how I feed my family.
Oh yeah, it's like I've been so strongly when I had my daycare because it was a small business. I don't have a lot of leverage, and every child that I took care of is too expensive. And I always said to my friends, like, if my kids have kids, I cannot give them a discount because I only have an X number of slots and this is my income.
Yes.
And I just can't. I'm like, I don't have room for it.
Exactly.
Like, I want to be nice, but I can't. Otherwise, it's almost not fair because, it's nice to help family when you can, but when there isn't enough of a budget that, you just can't. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, people need to understand your work has value and, and that if I were to go give it to someone else, I'm going to charge full price. So it needs to be somewhat near that amount before we do anything.
Absolutely. So building your business foundation, your system, is the most important thing. And stop listening to the social media where they pushed on you the hustle mentality, the more mentality, the grind mentality, the I'm gonna get you from 100,000 to 1 million within 6 months. This does not work
Right.
if you do not have a system, if you don't have a
Thank
system in
you.
place.
Yes,
Yes,
I know. Like, so
yes.
processes and procedures is everything for a business to function.
Yes, I was sold that dream before. And when I was growing, it's like, I need to make more money. So I bought this training, I hired this marketing agency, and the number were growing, but I was drowning more as a person, as a mental. So the mentality of 10x, as you said, give you 10x your lead, 10x your revenue, 10x your profit, it's not gonna work. Here is the simple, easy, I explain it to everybody is, when you hire an agency, they promise you to get you 10x revenue, for example. They will get you 10x revenue. But when you stop working with that agency, your revenue goes back down. That means you do not have a system in place. Your system is messed up.
Right,
You
right,
can't.
right, right, right. They are the system.
Exactly, exactly. And the
Yeah.
studies show that each business they lose 26% of their customers every single year. So if you do not have a system in place and you're not growing or you're growing 26%, you stay in the same.
Right.
So build the foundation. That's first of all. Do not listen to the hustle community or the grind community or 10x as you mentioned. And remember one thing, and this is my main core of what I'm doing. You are not alone.
Right. Right. Yes.
Yes, you are not alone. You are not weak. You are strong, and I'm here to support you. I'm not a marketer. I'm not a guru. I'm not. I don't sell this hype. I
Mhm,
I, I talk with. I teach the basics. Is you do not have to be alone. That's why I create that group. It's called Business Owner Venting Machine. Venting.
mhm.
So where I need the people to come or business owners to come to vent to get stuff out of their chest, even if I do not promise everybody to have all the answers or the perfect answer, but
Right.
at least I'll be there listening to you
It's a
when you
safe
talk.
space.
Exactly. And I do not allow any sales agents or marketing. It's only I vent him. Like I ask him a question and I check their social media if they are actual business owners or not, stuff like that. If I don't get the vibe that they're not business owners, I don't allow them because I'm trying to create a safe place for business owner where they can create their peace. Then after we create our peace, we can focus on building the profit, the marketing part, the profit leaks, the numbers. Numbers are easy to grow, but your mental health, if it damage you, you're done.
Right.
Your
It
business
cannot
is
be at
done.
the price. Yeah, you cannot be at the price of your mental health that you're growing your numbers.
Exactly,
100%.
exactly. Peace is possible. Peace is the new profit, and
Yeah.
it can be achieved. You just have to play your cards right, and
Right.
don't listen to the media, the social media, and all these gurus. And I have nothing against everybody, but it's just sometimes not everything
It's
works.
not what it's not there. It's not what they sell, what they make it sound to be. Not always. And
Yes,
is that's the thing. But of course, to sell, you have to sell the promise.
yes,
Otherwise, no one will sell anything. So that makes sense why they would do that. But I think we need to be aware that, and like you said, you need to be willing to be okay with the price you pay for the profit. And I
yes,
agree, as we get older, we kind of need to learn what's important to us and how much is peace worth to you, really,
yes,
because each person has a different priority of what peace means to them. And I think as a society, we are all shifting towards the concept of harmony, balance, having more of a well-balanced lifestyle. I mean, I'm a different generation, but I can see it in my kids that are now going through college that their idea of work-life balance is extremely different to
yes.
what I was growing up on what work-life balance, and the idea of hustle is not in their vocabulary. Is not, to the point that it's almost like, for me, it's like, oh, I don't know how they're going to do it. But that's because I'm coming from a different perspective and a different generation. But I'm thinking they're going to figure it out and they're going to be fine. And they're
Yes,
probably learning lessons from us, right? Because we did all
yes,
the hard work. And now they're kind of, if you think about it, we have learned from our parents, right? What we wanted,
yes,
didn't want. And they're sort of watching us and they're learning what they want and don't want for the next generation. So I think your message is right on point. I think there's a huge movement. I mean, you see it more and more about more people talking about harmony, emotional well-being, mental health, finding your new place in life.
yes,
And so I think you're right on point on that, once you get into the business, you have to, then the next thing is like, okay, how is this going to work? Like I had the daycare for 17 years. I absolutely loved it. But it came to the point in which it's like, do I want to continue to have to welcome the energy that each family brings into the daycare with their issues and concerns? Because this is their child, right?
Exactly.
So I
Yes.
have to deal with, and that is a lot of pressure because they're paying, they want the best quality, is their baby.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so there's a big price to pay there. So yeah, I had a lot of systems in place and I was very good, but I noticed the generations are changing. And I was like,
Mentality
and I was
changes.
not willing to give up my peace for
Exactly.
profit. I was
Yes.
not. I was not. I was
Yes.
honestly not. To the point I was like, you know what? Maybe it's my time to go because I'm starting to feel that they're really trying to encroach on my personal peace just for me to keep profits. And I was like, this is no longer working. When you have businesses, you're going to have stressful moments. And I
Of
did. But
course.
I want to say that 90% of the time, it was peace for me
That's
running this
good.
daycare because I had people that I've delegated everything. But once in a while, drama would happen and I had to deal with it and I had to put out a fire. But for the most part, it was a good quality of life. So I didn't complain. But as the generations changed, there was something about the new generation. I just wasn't connecting. It's not that there's anything wrong. I just wasn't connecting with that generation anymore. That it was becoming that I felt like my profit was really going down and the cost of my piece was just like going out the window.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great point. I just want to give you a second to give us a final message. We obviously have all your information where they can find you. So in a couple of sentences, what is the most important thing that you want to know for small business owners to do as they continue to grow and try to, make it successfully in the business world?
So in order to be successful in the small business, of course you have to be different than somebody else. You cannot, here's a mentality I deal with. I don't believe in the word competition. Like when I used to be in the restaurant business, my best friends or the people who were close to me, the other restaurant business owners in my community. When I'm the furniture business and the wholesale, my close friend is the other wholesalers or other furniture. So I don't believe in the competition because we don't compete with each other. We build each other. We talk with each other. We
Right.
share information with each other. So competing is, I don't believe in the competing aspect. So building a business, you have to be different. Sell yourself because people connect with people. So if you show yourself who you are, what you stand for, why you're doing what you're doing, or you're selling your product or service, what's your reasons, what's your mission, what's your vision. Communicating with the customer is the most important aspect to be successful in the business. Not only you build the relationship with the customers,
Right.
but you collect data. And this is I learned it the hard way. Is I used to be a very shy person. But like I cannot talk with any stranger because I was very shy. But anyway, so talk to your customer, ask them what they like about your business, what they don't like, what would you change, why they did buy, why they did not buy, and so on and so on. Build that relationship with your customer because this is your foundation on the outside. In the inside, build the system with your self as the owner, with your employees, your staff, because if you build a business that you have to be in it every single day, you did not build a business. You build
Oh my
a,
gosh, I love that. I
a
always say,
cage or
yes,
a
thank you.
trap. Yes.
Yeah, I
So
always say, and I want to say
present.
this because I want people to walk away thinking about this too. You hit it on the nail. I always say when people tell me, oh, I cannot leave my place for a day because everything falls apart and I get all these phone calls and I'm thinking, then you're not a good leader. If you
Exactly.
are out of the office for one day and your business falls apart, you're not leading, you're managing.
Exactly.
And that is a huge difference that I agree with you 100%. The key is for you to delegate that the business should be able to run
Exactly.
smoothly when you're not there. And if your presence is needed, then you need to go back and 100% I believe on that for sure.
Yes.
You need to have systems in place because otherwise you don't have peace.
Exactly. You're building a prison for yourself. You're building a cage and you're trapping yourself
Hmm.
inside while everybody else is outside. You're the
Right.
only one
Right.
inside. So you're breaking yourself mentally, emotionally, financially. It's gonna end up going there. Yeah, socially, you're killing yourself.
Right.
Build your system that will give you peace. Once you have peace, profit will come. Numbers will grow
Right.
because people you will have confidence when you have peace, you have confidence and people will trust that whether your workers do not listen to that one, this will come
It will
later.
come naturally if you do the other piece. I
Exactly.
agree.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, it has to come. If you look for it so hard, you burn out and you don't make it. For
Yes.
sure. Well, thank you so much, Midu. Right?
Of
Did I say
course.
it right?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Midu, for your time. This was great conversation. I definitely want to keep talking to you, but I do know that our podcast listeners probably have a place to get to. So,
No, you're good. I completely understand.
this was great. Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
and
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you soon.
All right. Appreciate it. Or your customers. Do you feel that? So build the piece first, inside out, then start growing. Do not listen to the media. Do not listen to the 10x hype.
Thank you for joining me for today's episode of the Book of Balance podcast. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and found value in the insights we shared. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss a future episode. And as promised during the show, you'll also find a link in the description with today's guest information, website links, and all the mentions we talked about during the episode. And if you're a do-it-yourself entrepreneur, you can join the Clarity Compass method at claritycompassllc.com. It's a monthly subscription where business owners like you dedicate just 1 hour each week to work in their books, get their questions answered, and stay consistent with their support of a community committed to financial clarity. Now, if you'd like to connect with me personally, head on to my website, oholeguy.com, to schedule your complimentary 15-minute consultation. It's the perfect way to get your personalized bookkeeping questions answered and explore how the white glove services can support your business. And on the last note, remember, we are not lawyers or financial advisors. Everything shared here reflects our professional opinions and is provided solely for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only. So thanks again for listening, and until next time, keep your compass set on clarity.